Hey there, so this might be a bit of a weird one because usually I don't make videos and I don't make videos with voiceovers at all, but I'm looking at a lot of gameplay videos of ACC and race room and stuff, and it's just way too easy to think how hard can that really be. So I wanted to make one, just to see how hard it actually is. So without further ado, what would make the most fun content? Well, that's actually pretty easy. There's one track that people know I'm absolutely loving, and that's Monza, especially open lobby. But what car will we take? I can take an M4 and know that I have a pretty capable car, but what about the M6? I'm still a Beamer, but unique. So let's just do that. So what did I join? Okay. Oh no. Oh, interesting ping. So contradictory to what all the signs showed, the qualifying actually was pretty clean, aside from this interesting altercation between the two cars in front of me, where the one went straight and the other one just went into the wall. I had a fine qualifying, I thought, but then I got taken out anyway, a corner later. However, the guy was sorry, and in the end I put it in 8th, so no hard feelings. I'm pretty close to the guy that has the... Oh, I'm pretty close to 2 guys that have the ping to rule them all. But let's skip to the start, that's what we care about. So like any ACC race, the start will be rolling, which is great, because the only thing that could make Monza any worse would be a standing start. I'm not really familiar with the people around me. I don't recognize their names from any leagues I'm driving with, so this is going to be exciting stuff. Especially that a Mercedes is now coming from the back trying to overtake the entire field before green. So this is a pretty awesome omen for how T1 could happen. We're all curious to see how it goes. There's an empty spot behind me. I think maybe somebody... Oh, things are happening. But we're pretty close to green, almost in the 70. Oh, we're all already in the 70 zone. And I was having a bit of trouble because I was going too fast and I completely missed the start. So I get caught by a Porsche on the straight in an M6. That's not good stuff. But he closed the door on me, which is fair, but I had to brake a bit earlier to make space for the carnage that will most likely happen into T1. And there's some minor contacts, and then all hell's break loose. I get through cleanly, I thought, but in the end I got hit by the Audi. But we're through, and we can extend the legs. I see the Honda coming along, I think I can probably take this one as well. He's keeping the inside closed, but the M6 got so much grunt, I can probably take him around the outside. Can also check my 2.7 seconds of damage, I can survive this. And Honda goes deep. Oh, the Mercedes didn't brake at all. I was a bit afraid he might rejoin, but in the end he decided against it. But let's look ahead. We have an M4 ahead of us, a Beamer buddy, both going through the Lesmos. I get a bit on the curb, really unsettles the car, almost binned it. Not a great way to catch a guy in front of you by ramming into a barrier, but in the end, it went all okay. On the exit of this Lesmo 2, he went a bit more narrow and I got a run on him by just the amazing M6 grunt. He didn't defend it, probably was a lost cause anyway because this car is so fast in a straight line. I kept a bit narrow on the next entry just to show him that there's no way back past. The car is a bit bouncy. Oh, and I almost lose it again, but somehow hold on to it. The Porsche ahead got also not the greatest exit and I can just out-drag him on the straight. The Porsche let it happen to him, he's not defending and I'm fully ahead before the braking zone. I keep narrow, just don't show any weakness to the Porsche, but he's too far away already. So I'm looking ahead and I see the Bentley with the crazy ping. And well, that's lap 1, and aside from the T1 carnage, with which I came out of almost unscathed, this lap went pretty well. So we are almost close to T1 again, so messes can happen, but I nail my braking zone and the Bentley went a bit deep. So is this my chance to get on his bumper? No, not at all. He is way too far ahead, and he stays too far ahead. If we skip to the next lap, you can see he even opened up the window a bit further. And that's bad, because I want to catch him, of course. People are also starting to be passive-aggressive into the chat, and it's distracting me. But this race quickly developed. In front of me, somebody cuts the chicane and just blocks off the group. And this is my chance to catch up with them. I am closing the gap to the group at least, maybe not to the Bentley, but the group, somebody goes wide and he cuts cross and he murders the Honda. The NSX is into the gravel and into the wall maybe even. I go a bit wide here, and even though I caught up with them a little bit, I now lose ground, and I know there's an Audi behind me that is catching quickly. He wasn't that close last lap. He is in the attack mode, and I have to go defensive because he is out dragging the M6. He's trying it around the outside, but I say no, and he's staying behind me. So people are again angry in the chat, and I see a yellow flag. Maybe that's the reason. It seems on the minimap like there's somebody on the side of the road, and then the Bentley moves and he's not on the side of the road at all. Luckily we avoid him, but if you look at the minimap you can see that not everybody was as fortunate and some other people seem to be collected. So open lobby racing delivers again. However, do I need to worry about this Audi behind me, or do I look in front to the Bentley that is slightly quicker than me? I don't know. I can also yield to the Audi. Maybe he is sketchy, maybe he is not. But we are nearing T1 again, and I'm hoping that the Bentley goes deep like he did earlier, but he does not. He nails the corner and we exit exactly the same way as we entered T1. 2 laps later, however, it's not exactly the same at all. I am struggling to keep up with the guys in front of me, and the Audi behind me is pressuring me into a mistake. I'm really struggling, but the mistake seems to come from the group ahead, where one of the Beamers hits the wall and I get a freebie from 5th to 4th. But the Audi behind me is also really liking that 4th position that I am in, and he is on the attack again. I have to keep narrow. He almost outdrags me. He is again looking around the outside. He's smart enough to not try it, however. He puts his nose behind me again. But he's early on the accelerator, but I am on the apex. There's no way past. I got a great exit and I fended off another attack by this Audi. This Audi does keep up the pressure though. The guy, JC, is really driving aggressively. He really wants to go past. It's great driving. He's very clean, but it's pressuring me and I'm sweating really hard. I'm in a bit of a limbo, however. I see the Bentley ahead of me in 3rd, a potential podium, but behind me is the Audi. What should I do? Should I attack or should I defend? I could get 3rd. However, I could also get 5th by being reckless or attacking blindly. So the Audi behind me again in the slipstream, you can see him closely coming by, but no way he can send it here, so I can stay on the line, go a normal way into the Ascari, but I bounce on the end, the cuts and almost lose it. This is costing time, precious time, and I see the Audi behind me, and even though he's far behind, I know he is slick enough to come close, so I have to go defensive into Parabolica, something I really don't want to do because this might cost me in the long run. He puts his nose around the outside, but he sees he cannot do that there. However, I'm too early on the power and I get on the AstroTurf, which costs me top speed. Luckily the Audi does the same, but he got the run on me anyway. I'm really keeping narrow now. He is going around the outside, that's great, I can keep it there. But I'm really caught off guard by how quickly this Audi is once it's out of my slipstream. We're on the brakes, we are side by side into T1, this could be tears. I stop right ahead, but he is still left of me. Luckily, only light contact and we are out of the corner again. By a hair's width, I get in front of him and I immediately take advantage of that. But I have to go defensive again, because if I don't, he will definitely send it upon my inside. The 3rd position is now very far out of my mind. He keeps behind me. Luckily, he's probably not liking the sight of those anti-cuts that he could potentially hit. But he is again trying into Lesmo 1 around the outside. But luckily, the Beamer is wide enough to keep him behind me still. It seems like I have a little bit of breathing space. I can see the Bentley now 2.7 seconds. There is no way I will catch up with him. The limbo has been broken. I will fully defend every attack that this Audi will throw at me. Luckily, he's again not close enough through Ascari, so I can take the normal line. But there's a yellow flag. There's a car parked on the apex. I brake, but the Audi behind me does not. He is directly upon me now. I still go defensive. He had to brake to not hit me, which was pretty lucky for me because that meant he couldn't blast past me. I'm still on the inside. Is he trying it around the outside? He is not. He's trying to cut back, but I am on the apex. However, I get wheel spin in third gear and I get a very, very bad exit. Again, I have to go to the inside of the track and he is looking around my outside. It's a drag race into T1. This Audi is incredibly rapid. There is a yellow flag into T1, but I don't care. I want this position. Again, we could die, but we don't. Somehow I get past him into T1, and somehow we are now not in P4, but in P3. So we are on the podium, but the Audi is still trying. Am I in front? Not yet. The radar says I am, so I cut across. I block him off, so he has to go around my outside into the next corner. Is he trying that? No, again, he's thinking better of it. I'm really parking it on the apex now. This is the final lap, and this is my chance for a podium. A well-deserved one. Really, really hard fighting, even though this is open lobby racing. It seems like he got the run, but this is too short to make it stick. We go again on the back straight. Is he closing in? Do I have to go defensive? I don't know. Yes, he is closing in again. Let's hug that inside line. Is he trying to go through the Ascari side by side? He might make it. No, it seems like the grunt stops before the braking zone and I can block off the apex again. It's now only a couple of corners before the finish line. Oh, he got again a run on me. I still have to hug the inside line. This might be his last chance before the finish line. He is really close, but not as close as he was into T1. We go into the Parabolica side by side. He tried it around the outside, but that is never going to work. It seems like I am going to finish on the podium. It's really close though, but yes! A podium finish in an open lobby race. Usually not too happy about that, but I think this was a great race, and I told him that as well. I think if you ever meet, what was he called? JC17. He is clean, he drives fast, it's very nice.